And it went over so well that actually I've seen other reporters, pick it up, do it, and we get great reaction from that. So this is good for covering live events. I'm sure everybody who's on it knows about what happened in the Iranian election. It's great for breaking news and for crowdsourcing. Yes.
This might be a bit off topic, being that we're all journalists here, but I recently bought the title to my own company, and it's more like sports related, and it would be hopefully many years down the road, I would be published with a book, kind of guidelines about sports safety, and then be giving presentations at like schools and that sort of thing. Would Twitter be able to help at all with that?
No,
I guess I still haven't gotten on the Twitter
Twitter's going to be gone by now.
Okay.
And that brings up a good point, because one thing as we go through these, don't get married to a site or don't get married to an application, because we're using Twitter now. Twitter might go away, but I have confidence that there will be some cousin that will be able to do the same thing in the same kind of way. You can get the news out immediately. You can crowdsource. You can pick up. But don't think, well, Twitter's the answer, because it might be gone. And these things switch. Nearly this presentation is different this year than it was last year because so many of the sites have changed.
Right.
So
I was going to say some of the tools that you use going forward too are going to be a lot more robust. You're going to have the geo-tracking. You're going to have the intelligent web, semantic webs coming up. There's stuff 6 months from now that we don't even know exists. So I mean, you can't think, okay, 6 years from now I'm going to do this project. It's a little difficult to lock yourself into that.
And these are different things. Those were different tools, different ways you can use Twitter. If you're not using TweetDeck, it's a great tool to be able to put your followers in different groups. This is a Mashable, because a lot of people are using Facebook, but this was a very useful guide to how journalists can use Facebook. I cover crime. A lot of people who commit crimes and tend to be arrested are younger people, and look at criminology statistics. As people get older, they tend to commit fewer crimes. And so, the first thing we do with victims of crime, when people get arrested, we look for their Facebook page and try to download everything we can before the defendant's lawyer or something tells them to delete that page. Because I know criminal defense lawyers, the first thing they do in their client is delete your Facebook page, or if you've got any social media. So, because you might have said, I'm planning to kill my wife tonight. So, do you think that's funny? We had a guy in Lawrence, Kansas, who was up for trial, and one of the main pieces of evidence against him were that the police found that he had done a Google search on how to get rid of a body. Or the Lawrence one was how to get away with murder. And then we had a guy in Wichita who had killed his girlfriend, and he had Googled how to get rid of a body.
I see a lot of you guys already writing. Don't waste the ink. At the end of this, we'll give you a link to this whole presentation that has every link that you're going to see up here, plus a lot more. I think it comes to about 158 of them. So if we get through even a quarter of that, we'll be thrilled.
Yeah, it's 60 seconds, 60 minutes. We've got over 100, and we'll probably get through 30.
Yeah.
Go on.
FriendFeed was purchased by Facebook recently. It's just an aggregator of all your feeds. It allows you to connect like you do on Twitter.
And one of the things when Oprah announced Twitter, and about the time that Ashton Kutcher started following Jeff here, how many people does Ashton Kutcher follow in this room? You want to raise your hand? Okay. So, and when there was this big influx into Twitter, all the people who were like early adopters and like the cool kids decided, well, now we're not interested in Twitter anymore, and they all went over to FriendFeed. But FriendFeed, you can put your YouTube You can put everything on one feed.